And we're jumping back in it with some more Star Trek Online. And without further ado, let's get going on Star Trek Online. This video will air on June 28th. And as always, live long and prosper. Let's see, it's about to. Okay, I've downloaded it. That'd be easier. Should be this time. Accent. Episodes. Found you.
We have lost contact with a battle group in the Norg system. It could be a Starfleet assault, but that system is deep within Imperial territory. It seems unlikely that an enemy fleet would have made it that far without being detected. Not to mention any number of more critical targets along the way. Needless to say, the High Council wants answers. You and I are to conduct an investigation at once.
All right. And to begin the mission, Blood of the Empire. Effect here. This is going to be fun. Just like, do 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 do
I am picking up the remains of several... At least these warriors were tough. And they may be back for more. A series...
Oh, shit.
Klingon vessels! It is no game, Klingon! They're locking weapons! We must destroy the fortress, or more Valkyrie will come through! We must destroy the fortress, or more Valkyrie will come through! We must destroy the fortress, or more Valkyrie will come through! if I had not seen it with my own 2 eyes. Indeed. And all available forces are ordered to return to the Praxis Belt immediately. The data... Look, the Fakiri concentrate fire on the... I am detecting a group of Fakir...
I have heard tales of your recent victories in battle. It is good to fight at the side of such a warrior.
The battle awaits us.
GK.
The enemy is near. Local de-
We will secure this area against further attacks.
I'm picking up a constant.
Oh.
Still need to deal with the Fakiri and the Lake of Fire. With the Hall of Justice secured, we must continue on toward the Great Hall of the High Council. Reinforcements are transporting in to aid us. Keep fighting!
Roar for the Empire!
courtyard is under control now, but some...
You are all going to die! In Kepler's name!
You have done well today, warriors. For your bravery, I will give you the honor of dealing with these demons. Speak to me soon, once you are ready to begin. When I received my first assignment on a starship, my father told me I would see many strange things in the service of the Empire. After today, I know his words to be true. The Fakiri, demons of myth, here, alive, and seeking revenge. Madness. Chancellor Jimpock has given us a great honor. I look forward to fighting the Fakiri with you once again.
The Remans are used to dealing with Romulans. Like an abused targ, they now fear all who approach. I had great hopes for the Remans in the days after Shinzon's rebellion and the destruction of Romulus. They threw off their shackles and stood as the Romulans' equals. The High Council even considered an alliance with the Remans, but they were too suspicious and paranoid for much to come of it. It is...
Congratulations, General. Congratulations, General.
Congratulations! You have proven yourself to be a strong warrior and invaluable to the Klingon Empire. You still...
Now let's go to air.
have any questions?
Please, we're low on fuel and supplies. We need help, badly.
Come on. The High Council has announced several challenges to the Empire, worthy of a warrior such as yourself. Would you like to review them?
This is Station Control. Welcome. Also, Captain Nog is waiting to meet with you on the promenade at your earliest convenience. Enjoy your stay here at the station.
Go for it. Is that chicken?
Hello! I've been assigned to...
Fuck off.
Ambassador Odo is here, coordinating security efforts.
I'll be blunt.
Chancellor Jempok has an office here.
This summit may not end well.
Nice to see some fire. Most of them...
Here is Proconsul Deton's office.
This summit may be difficult.
The
Chancellor informs me that you are prepared to serve. Completing, do you have any questions?
Hello. How can I help you today? Complete task force offer. Is there anything else you need?
Admiral Quinn's office is behind those doors.
The results of this summit could...
There are several Alpha Quadrant leaders here. I believe the Kai is here, in the Bajoran Temple.
Hello there. I suppose Jumpak sent you down to see where Bajor stands. I can tell you we're worried. The Herc were a few ships away from ravaging our homeworld, and if the Dominion falls, they'll be back, and we'll be the first to face them, so... Bajor stands... There's something else I should mention. I've experienced visions recently, a sign from the prophets. I see a place I've been before, a world beyond the grip of death. It's the home of a former Kai, and it's in the Dominion. I should also mention that I've seen you in this vision as well. I believe we're going to take a journey together soon. Something else on your mind? As Kai, I'm obligated to serve the will of the prophets. Doing so leads me to many places, not just Bajor. That can be difficult, especially in times of war. There's been a lot of that in the last few years. First the Dominion, then the Klingons, the Iconians, and now the Herc. There are times when I wonder how Ben Sisko managed during the Dominion War, and he was the emissary. I've tried to follow his example whenever possible, but it's been a challenge. Something else on your mind?
My father is in my uncle's bar. Hard to believe he used to work there, huh?
I was wondering when you'd come along. I'm guessing you're here to talk about the Herc and what we want to do about them. It's no secret that the Ferengi aren't a military powerhouse like the Klingons. Most of the time, we'd be happy to make a tiny profit from all of this, and as far away from it as possible. That changed when the Herc attacked Ferenginar. We would have been wiped out without help. And we didn't get it from Starfleet or the Klingons. We got it from the Lucari and the Cardassians. Even a few not cool ships showed up to fight. That showed us that this is everyone's fight, big or small. So we're in. It wasn't easy, believe me. I've managed to get the board of liquidators with us for now. Most of them see the potential for incredible profit. Alliance defense contracts can be very lucrative. The rest, well, let's just say their self-preservation instincts are strong. They'd rather fight with the Alliance than stand alone. The Herc have me thinking about adding a new rule of acquisition. If they can't be bought, get ready to fight! Did you have another question?
It looks like Counselor Garrick is in his old tailor shop.
Hello there. Surprised? Once upon a time, when I was but a tailor. That was before plain, simple Garrick became a member of the Ditapa Council, of course. Before the Reconstruction and the Iconian War and the Herc. While I'm proud of the work I've done for Cardassia over the years, there's a part of me that yearns to be here once more. To be just a tailor, just Garrick. Will there be anything else?
The Alliance has asked a number of special consultants.
Ah, you must be Chancellor Gempok's attaché. Nice to meet you. Dr. Julian Bashir, recently recommissioned Starfleet officer at your service. We're doing what we can to get things in order after that business with the Zenkethi and the Herc. The station took quite a beating. Worse than I saw during the Dominion War. We're still treating casualties, and it looks like we'll be seeing more soon. A lot more. The situation is compounded by the presence of civilians, both local and from other systems, even the Dominion. We have a number of refugees from the Gamma Quadrant on the station, and more are on the way. Clearly, the sooner we can solve the Herc dilemma, the better. We'll be beyond our capacity to help the refugees soon, as will Bajor. I mustered out some time ago to start a private practice on Trill. Since then, I've worked on special projects for Starfleet from time to time as a consultant. Even managed to start a family. Needless to say, I wasn't initially thrilled with the idea of putting the uniform on again. Still, it's very hard to say no to Kai Kira and Captain Dax. And so here I am, back on the front of an interstellar conflict. Here's hoping it's a brief one. Something on your mind?
Don't suppose you're here for a drink? Howl Sweet? Dabo? Can't blame me for trying to find profit while I can. My fool of a brother, the Nagus, seems hell-bent on getting the Ferengi into this mess. Not a lot of profit in fighting the Herc, 34th rule or not. You can't spend your money when you're dead. If you ask me, we'd be better off sealing that wormhole than saying goodbye to the Herc and the Dominion forever. I'd miss the Tulaberry wine, but I'd get over it. But seeing how that'll never happen, especially as long as Kira's still breathing, I suppose I'll have to dig in like everyone else. You know what the worst part of this mess is? Odo. He's back like a kind of ghost haunting me. I must be cursed. I do. And I'd be there, enjoying myself, if it weren't for the Grand Nagus. Brother or not, I wanted nothing to do with this until he put Lucari terraforming tech on the table. Couldn't pass that up. It'll cut biosphere renovation costs on my moon by 70%. Even with Odo here, and a billion Herc trying to demolish everything in sight, there's profit in the wind. Might finally land that exclusive Tulaberry export contract I've been dreaming about for 40 years. Can I get you something?
Hello. Oh, it's been a while since I've been in this place. I can't believe Quark still has that hollow me in here. It's a little embarrassing, to be honest. I wish we were all here under better circumstances. Then again, DS9's always been a trouble magnet. I guess peace is a little too much to ask for around here. My husband is risking a lot of capital, political and otherwise, by choosing to get involved with all of this. Fortunately, he's the best Grand Nagus to come around in a long time. The best ever, as far as I'm concerned, but I'm pretty biased on that point. Look, if I were this mirror version of me I've been hearing so much about, I'd have a lot more tactical advice to offer. As it is, my advice to you is this. Take a look around. Think about all the civilians, the refugees, people who are depending on you to protect them. Think about the best way you can do that, if you can. That's what I'd do if I were in your shoes. Boots, whatever. Was there something else?
There's a number of refugee groups here on the promenade.
We're lucky to be alive, friend. There was little warning before the Herc attacked our homeworld. Word of the Bajorans and their faith reached us after...
It must be a surprise.
This is Jempok. The summit will begin soon. The Federation and Romulan positions are predictable as always, but I am surprised by the Cardassians and Ferengi. They are usually more inclined to worry about their own skins first. I am not concerned about the refugees. Starfleet and the Bajorans will be all too eager to shelter and feed them, after all. As I said, the summit is about to start. Report to me there when you arrive. Everyone is here and no...
Kapla, I am Wayung 10. I'm glad we had a moment to talk before the summit begins. I trust you relayed everything you learned to your superiors. Did you convey a need for cooperation with the Founders as well? I understand there is some resistance to that idea in the Empire.
I'm glad you're here. You're right, of course.
Hello again. I spoke with... I believe so, yes. The Kai has a condition that has prevented her from leaving until now. Odo has provided us with data that could lead to a cure. If there's a chance, I'm willing to take it. Her wisdom could help us all greatly. I realize this is a lot to take in, but I hope I can count on your help when the time comes.
Jempok is a fool. If he thinks we can sit idly by while the rest of the galaxy fights the Herc, he's not willing to face the truth. There are Klingons who fear the Herc, hiding behind politics and rules. Grethor waits for their worthless souls. Know this. There are still Klingons who know where their blades belong. We will not dishonor our ancestors and ignore the Herc. We will fight them to our dying breath in the name of Kahless and the Empire!
If I can have everyone's attention. Thank you all for coming. By now, you should be aware of our tactical situation. The Dominion, as you know it, is on the verge of collapse. We've withdrawn to our core systems, and the lines are holding, for now. Without your help, the Herc will win the war of attrition.
What about your outer systems? We're receiving refugees here, from those areas.
We have one fleet left, Admiral. That's hardly enough to defend the entire Dominion.
I'm failing to see how this concerns the Empire.
The recent battle here is a sample of what the Herc can do.
If you think they'll stop at the wormhole, you're sadly mistaken.
Need I remind you that the Dominion came to your aid in the Iconian War? I seem to recall Klingons placing high value on debts of honor, or has that changed?
Mind your tongue, changeling! I will not be insulted!
Admiral Quinn to Ops. What's happening?
We're under attack, Admiral. It's the Herc! Reading Herc boarding parties! Multiple decks! They've concentrated in the damaged pylon. Ore processing area.
Get to that damaged pylon section and lock it down before the Herc trigger an explosion that could wreck the station!
Bad news. The hangar security shield is on the verge of... Nice work, but it's not over yet. Looks... Okay, you're almost... All right, the safety systems are... I need you to defend that section.
taste like that.
The Herc are attacking the station and several...
Starfleet vessels, this is Quinn. Protect civilian targets.
The station's weapon systems are offline. We need a few minutes to get them up and running. Until then, we're a sitting duck over here. I've asked every ship in the sector to regroup and prepare for...
Honor your ancestors! Fight now! And destroy the herd!
Concentrate fire on their capital ships.
Chief, I need those systems online!
Swarms get behind you.
Just a few more seconds.
That was the last of them. We're not picking up any Herc ships on long-range sensors. For now, at least. I think it's clear that the Dominion is prepared to work with you to stop the enemy. I hope the Empire is ready to do the same. In the meantime, our fleet will do what it can to keep the Herc on our side of the wormhole. Tell Jimpuck not to wait too long to make his decision, or the Dominion's problem will become yours soon enough.
The Herc threat is real. If they are foolish enough to attack the Empire again, we will defeat them as we did in ages past. As for the Dominion, Martok's expeditionary force will be leaving for the Gamma Quadrant soon. If that is where their honor lies, so be it. One more thing. Kai Kira of Bajor is leading a mission to the Inner System, and she has requested your assistance. Bajor has been a strong ally of the Empire, so I am granting that request. See to it that she returns safely. Serve the Empire.
Congratulations, General.
I need your help with a very sensitive mission. A former Kai, Opaka, was trapped on a prison moon in the Gamma Quadrant in 2369. Alien nanotech in her system prevents her from leaving the moon, but it also sustains her life indefinitely while on the surface. It seems the wardens of the prison were planning on curing and granting amnesty to the prisoners until their planet was decimated by the Herc. Somehow, the Dominion managed to obtain the cure, and they've provided it to us as a peace offering. The moon hasn't been hit by the Herc, but it's only a matter of time. We need to cure Opaka and the others and get them out of there before that happens. Something else on your mind?
Alright, and with that, we'll stop and exit the game. And as always, live long and prosper.